My name's Manuel Hall of Triple H Contracting. I've been operating for 10 years in February this year actually. Started out working with my father as logging contractor and got an opportunity to go on my own. We've grown from a 2-person operation, myself and another guy, to 12 people now. We harvest 250,000 tonne annualised, and as of next month we'll be carting 90,000 tonne a year. The advantage of the Kenworth T659 twin steer is extra payload we get with it. We're getting 40 tonne payload with this configuration we have, which is really good. Especially the Kenworth T69 is the resale value for starters, and the truck itself is proven in our game, has been for years and years. So with the diff locks and cross locks gives us extra traction when we need it, along with the CTI that's fitted to the truck, improves the ride and better traction as well. We decided to spec the truck with the CTI typically because where most of our operations are bony, dry, rocky roads, which are hard on tyres. The CTI allows us to get better tyre life and better traction and better ride. Spoke to Padgett Group. They run all their trucks with CTI and they have the same configuration of what we've got there. Just made sense to go that way. We're actually getting CTI fitted to this truck next week as well. So it takes, I guess, 3 to 4 minutes to unchain and unload the trailer ready for putting logs on it. And also the advantage of having the whole trailer on the back of the truck makes it easy for turning and to getting to the landing and and the weight's on the truck at all times, so better life, tyre life and better traction where you need it.
I'm Joe Davis, Scottsdale. It weighs about 21.5 tonne empty, 62 tonne loaded, which gives you a payload of 40 tonne. We cart out of Forest Lodge up the back of Pine Ganna, goes all the way down to Bell Bay, Georgetown. Today we carted peelers down to the peeler yard, Pentark, which is export to China.
2 products that we cut up the job that the Kenworth carts from is just a pulp log which goes to wood chip, and an export peeler log which is peeled for making chipboard that goes in the bottom of shipping containers out of it actually. Safety is a definitely high priority at our company, yeah. So it's fitted with winches, with auto tension ones, which is good. It keeps the load tensioned the whole time from A to B. So yeah, in terms of safety, I guess having the trailer hydraulically fold up makes it a lot safer. Other configurations help.
The truck is a really nice truck to drive. Gives you a really good ride. Probably one of the best trucks I've ever driven. Really good steering lock. You wouldn't ask the twin steer. Handles really well. It's nice and comfortable. I really like the gold trimmings, the gold gauges, and it looks really nice. Built well, built tough for the Tassie conditions. I've put the power divider in just as soon as I hit the gravel. It gives you a better traction, just in case, a bit of wheel slip. It just sort of saves you from, just in case if you hit a wet spot, it gives you that bit of added traction. We run it on the highway at about 90 pounds, and before we head into the bush we drop it down to about 60, and when we go to pull up out of the big hill we drop it down to 30, which gives you more traction and a really good ride.
Yeah, look, the service from CJD has been really good. What they've done to date is been top notch, yeah. No complaints at all. The ride of this twin steer T69 is remarkable. The resale value of the truck is you know, another reason why we went that way. And look, the truck Kenworth brand and especially the C659 truck itself are proven in our game. So.
I'm Kevin Muscat from BR and KF Muscat & Sons, in Norfolk. We're a fourth generation harvest and cart family. We've been harvesting and cartage from North Scots for 50 years this December. We generally work in around the Dorn Valley area, although we cart timber from Geeveston to Longreach for Forrico. That's a plantation hardwood job there, and all our timber goes into Boyer as a plantation pine. Our tries are 26 metres long, 68.5 tonne all up weight, approximately 44 to 45 tonne payload. Good manoeuvrability around the bush. You haven't got to have very big turning bays to turn these vehicles. Really happy with the way they're running. They've been running now for nearly 12 months and they're moving around about 7,000 tonne a week. Our CTI on our trucks, we've got them on all our logging trucks, mainly for two things. Obviously tyre wear, we get a better tyre wear out of our using our CTI, and also it makes them more manoeuvrable around the bush as far as steeper grades and places where 10 years ago you wouldn't get a mini B or a tri out, whereas CTI dropping your air pressure down to 30 psi, they run no problems of getting out on those tricky little spots. Yeah, we run 60 psi, normally running back to the bush empty and coming out on some roads. Gives us a little bit better ride for the driver and better tyre wear. But normally when we're fully loaded, we're running up to 90, 92 psi. Certainly gentler on the trucks themselves, because obviously the tyre pressures is not to maximum tyre pressure. So obviously you get a better ride, but also you get a better run out of your just general truck wear. Yeah, the rotary couplings on the end of your actual wheel, where you've got a rotor. We've run, the later trucks now are up around 200,000 kilometres and still no signs of any issues. So we're expecting to get at least double that, if not more. So maintenance is very minimal. When you rotate your drive tyres, you've got little O-rings inside your valve stems. We normally replace those every time you do a tyre change. But other than that, bar if there's any damage, but as far as actual wear, very long life wear and tear on that for sure. It probably adds 20 minutes to a full rotate, around about 15-20 minutes, because you've got to make sure you get your valve stem and your actual air line in the appropriate spot. So it does take a little bit longer, but of course you're running CTI, you're doing it less. So as most people know, your tyre wear is less, so less rotations. So yes, which is good. To deflate from 90 down to 30, you're probably looking at 5 minutes, something around about that. So when you're sort of on a road where you know you need to drop down to 30, you plan that probably 5 or 10 minutes before you get to that area. Drop your air pressure so then it's down by the time you want to climb up a particular bank or whatever the case may be. So then your tyre is ready to go. That particular bank or hill you was talking about is that's about 11% there grade, which is quite steep for a try to be climbing up. So what we did there, or Foraco organised, was a couple of concrete strips come onto that steeper section of that road, and between the concrete and the CTI, that's a big climb for a 68 tonne to be climbing up there with a log truck. So yeah, a big effort. Yeah, and you would not get up that hill without CTI, not a hope. No, but your normal air pressure would be around 90, and you would not get up there. So the drivers normally, after they leave their landing, being loaded, they'll drop their CTI to 30, and by the time they get to that hill, they're on 30, and as you saw, just climbed up no problems. Yes, well, the best of the Kenworth truck is they're specifically built for logging. These trucks we've got, they're spec for logging. They're not a highway truck that's been sort of prettied up to go logging. They're specifically built for harvesting, and logging conditions, which makes a difference to the long life jeopardy of the truck, and obviously at the end of that, resale value, because the trucks are still providing you do your maintenance. You've got a good truck when you decide if you want to sell it.
My name's David and I work for Bill Early Spreading, and I run the truck here with a CTI system on it. The advantages I see are its smoothness of ride in the machine is one, which translates into a lot more driver comfort, a lot less wear and tear on all your components in your truck, such as your spring bushes, cab mounts and so forth. I've used these systems before on a similar truck, and I know you'll get a lot longer life out of those components with one of those systems fitted. Another big advantage is the extra traction you gain from having the extra tyres patting on the ground. They tend not to want to spin so much when you get into a bit of wet going. They'll just keep turning without the spinning going on, which tears all the grass out. Yeah, that's the thing, like, let the tyres down, you get that better ride and no jar through your vehicle. Less chance of getting bogged. Still can get bogged, but a lot less chance. Less compaction, it is noticeable. I've worked next to a truck that hasn't had it fitted in the same conditions, and it's been a lot less mess when I come out when you compare the two trucks. It's just not pressing in the ground as much and turning it into mud. Farmers are always happy to see that, so that is a benefit. I know we've run them for 2 years before and not had to replace bearings, so we don't seem to have a problem with that. As far as my experience, it's a pretty trouble-free system. There's been nothing gone wrong with any component of it, and it's easy to use. It's all press buttons on the panel. I have 3 presets in this. I can go to either of those 3, and with my up and down buttons, I can go up or down 10 pounds off the presets. You've got control over front or rear. It's not all one system. You can control front and rear separately. As I said, it's just a touch of a button, very easy. You've got to be prepared to monitor it. And I don't note anything down, but certain things stick in your mind, and you remember what pressure relates to what job, what load you're carrying. Like you notice how much extra strain is on your rear tyres when you're towing a trailer, for example. You notice you could have a load on without the trailer, drive somewhere the pressure doesn't move, but if you put the trailer on, it might go up 5 pounds or more. So you just pick up all this, and if you want to get right into it, you could juggle everything around to try and make everything better for the truck, better for the tyres. It's 340 horsepower. They run a 12-speed automatic box. They're the best four-wheel drive truck to use. They're comfortable. Again, the CDI helps making them comfortable in our job. As you imagine, a rough paddock is rough no matter what you've got, but the CDI evens it out quite a bit. There's a very noticeable difference in the comfort with having CDI or not having CDI. I'd kick up and down carrying like a child if I couldn't have it. That's how good I think it is. Yep, and that's honest. It's wonderful. For the truck over a 4 or 5 year lifespan, I think you'd pay for it in just less repairs to your spring bushes and so on. But I don't think that's a factor, because you can take it off the truck it's on and put it on the next one. So you can just keep it with you. So it's basically a once only cost, and providing it's looked after and serviced like it should be, well, you could have it for who knows how long.